Used to be a burger, but anyway, it's not a burger. And then you've got still as well, that's the burger, which is a bloke in. It really works, but it doesn't come from around here. It comes from like what's it called, Worcester, like around that way. It's posh. And it's basically every time he's here, working here, he comes in. And he's the one that had, he had a burger the first day with the fries, and then he had, the next day he had fries. Remember yesterday I seen the box meal, it was fries, sausage, so that's the other thing he has, sausage and egg and whatever. So I think he had 2 sausages, fries. Do you remember what you did for box meal yesterday?
Yeah.
So you got like about 5 or 6 people so far at the burgers. Maybe all lads in the second time.
Oh yeah, everyone looks like kind of like good from my burgers and all. These little faces, chicken burgers.
Shit, I just get this in the waste food, don't let me forget.
Well, we can always get more if you guys get in there.
That's 6-day salad.
They should do. Chicken steaks, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's back to chicken steaks, chicken breast.
When we get out of food, we might have to just finish off this here for me. And just to get done.
No problem, Barry. I've got one for the chicken anyway.
Y'all do know that chickens can't live off of pasture, right? Poultry nutrition is actually surprising complicated, but we can think of this discussion.
Maybe Michael's.
Two things that chickens need in order to walk around and thrive and not get sick and get like enough eggs for people to eat and be able to pay for themselves. They need energy and they need protein. Now, those poultry operations.
I didn't know that. But chickens can't just live off pasta. Not pasta, sorry, they're the pastures.
Now, they
You can't just they're the pastures. They're like if grass. They can't just live off that. They have to have other stuff.
My hens are on pasture, I'd say 96% of the time. But there's a problem. Number one, chickens can't actually eat, not break down cellulose. They can't break down the plant fiber walls to actually get the nutrition that is in the grass. They might eat it, but it's not good. So the only things that actually digest and turn into something else. Commodities for egg production. Grass seed and bugs. Okay, so now we're going to do some real quick chicken math. On a small farm like mine, where our production units are 2,000 hens, a final farm production unit, for example, is going to be 20 to 30,000 hens. All production units are going to require about 500 pounds of food per day. That's how much food that our hens have to eat in order to remain healthy.
500 pounds of food!
Is that of that 500 pounds, about 75 to 80 pounds of that food has to be cooked. Okay, so every day, my hens, production unit of 2,000, is going to need about 420 pounds of energy and 80 pounds of protein. Now, if you want to replace the corn for energy, the soybean for protein, then what's available in the pasture, which is mostly going to be grass seed. Fine. We had to talk about
No problem, baby.
Just got to watch out that bit there because
Well, I'm going to do for at least another hour.
that bit there as well.
Oh, yeah. Then I'll stuck here for about an hour, chicken and things like that.
Pounds of grass out of an acre, and you might get 400 pounds of bugs in an acre.
Oh, that's something.
Just run from one thing to the next. So I'm just getting it done. No, I'll get nothing done, anything done. I'll be meaning to message these people about the water. Do you know what I did this morning? Closed down the fucking tap, so all that 2 hours I spent yesterday filling in that form, I took it all over again. Just got to get it done. Just got to get it done. Just got to try harder. I've been staying up all night, it does. So this is some bags of food and things. Where this is
You'll want for like 5 cherries and donuts and stuff.
or what PDF, I'll have to run there, but it's going to be taxi. And this one guy, ooh, it's expensive. I'll tell you now. So fucking bosses go to restaurant and just stuff and then.
Oh yeah, tied up.
It's just, you can't do this while I'm what's the stage. It's unreal. Absolutely unreal. I mean, you're half an hour on the bus, just gets there. So. Are you downloading now, are you?
Yeah. White slavery. I don't think this dude gets the views he deserves.
A giant wasteland.
Do you reckon it's because he's a lefty?
It's long, it's dense, and immediately overwhelming.
This chicken guy. Do you reckon because he's a lefty he doesn't get the views he should? It's not just a rabid lefty, he's a rational lefty, isn't he?
Black people created completely.
Fraud.
I clarified it right when I put up the video that I was talking about in the U.S. Not the entire world. That is because of Anthony Johnson.
Because we're all already. If you that somebody trusts them, then they
Yeah, I can do this, I've got an hour, so if you can.
Buzz Aldrin. You know Buzz Aldrin is in space
And he bumps someone with a Bible!
the sky. Somebody does a 5-minute video on the life of Buzz Aldrin, of the Apollo space program, and of the times Buzz punched his 7 landings. During this video, this person is repeating that Buzz Aldrin was the first person to walk. Right? That sounds strange. I think this person were to tell you that they didn't know who Neil Armstrong was. Didn't find believability, right? How did you know about Buzz Aldrin and the Apollo program and the moon landings and the space flight?
We go on the cave room once on the warehouse.
Neil Armstrong, that's impossible, right? Okay, so you got those two people.
Or if it's or if it's restaurants, alright. I mean, I wonder if that means his restaurant's okay.
Never. John Punch and John Castore. First the story of John Punch.
And you've got something very small to me.
John Punch is an indentured servant working for some white man. He escapes with 2 other indentured servants who happen to be white.
Oh, they'd be blasting money through, right?
They'll get caught for doing the exact same crime to keep him away from the master at the same time from the same sky. That part's important because when they get to Vegas, the 2 black boys are while John Punch is sentenced to lifetime slavery. And this is
That's all right.
This is the first time it's in the law that the difference in race between servants becomes a material difference in the legal. So John Punch became a lifetime slave because he was black. Now, fast forward,
Oh, I saw that, don't worry about it. I'm just a bit relaxed at the moment, just so I started running around, because I've got to wait for the chicken to cook and all that.
Is also an indentured servant. Unlike John Punch, his contract is with a black man who became free after serving his indenture. That guy's name is Anthony Johnson, and that's the Anthony Johnson that Abraham Medusa was talking about in her video. Anthony Johnson's natural black ass has a bunch of white people working on it.
Oh God, no. Yeah, you gotta remember, like.
Now people have to be so careful. So if you push anything to the back, it just.
Yeah, but in the next 10 to 12 days we're back to fucking. It's been in the next 10 to 12 days we're back to normal, so no stress, no worry.
We get second free that just sort all this out and
You're alright, lady.
moving. Shit, that is.
Biggie man.
Can you remind me as well? I don't know what these other things are that I've been saying to remind me. What was it? Chicken, steaks, and what was the other thing you just said?
Right, nothing else. Thank you for that's about it.
It's actually remind me before I go upstairs because I forget that it's not written down. I haven't written chicken on me anywhere, but I was reminded to just say chicken.
On your travels within a specific
I was told this to week over the weekend. And it was just a video, right? And I watched the video and I thought, wow, this is sure to get that into a tailspin. So this is an interview with an author / journalist called Alan Andrews on the Trigonometry podcast. And I've broken it down to the most interesting bits. And in between these things, I reckon. Yeah, it's this article that she did for Compact magazine or whatever, and it's called The Great Feminisation, right?
Right.
And it's all about how she reckons that wokeness is basically just the feminisation of workplaces.
Right. For someone who studies the great feminisation, she dresses a lot like a bloke.
Does she? She's wearing a flowery shirt. Oh, yeah, fair. Anyway, this was a good watch. Let's have a look. Let's go.
You wrote an article based on a speech you gave at the NACMON conference, which exploded the internet, I think it's fair to say. And it's basically, I mean, I'll let you say it in your own words, but it's kind of a little bit about how the fact that women represent the majority of the employees at many institutions is one of the reasons that society is looking at it. Is that fair?
I think it's fair to say. Some people have reacted to this by, I'm saying it caused all the problems in the world. I'm definitely not saying that, but I am saying that feminization has caused one specific particular problem, and that is
Yeah, and they're mostly in H. Sorry, H. I've been working on my H pronunciation. H, it doesn't sound right. It sounds like it should be H, but my audience tells me it's H.
Have we done a video with these two walls number 4?
Yeah.
Why do we feel like our nose is
Because it's true. Their favourite monster is an extreme mate. And the other guy that never fucking says anything.
That's right, a little flat side.
Yeah, he's excellent. Like Francis thinks it's okay. I don't want to shit on Francis Foster. But yeah, he's famous for not saying much. But it's funny, he actually goes to the language. Anyway, I want to like intertwine this with what Blue Sky. Someone Andrews went to Yale, actually PhD, it just studies. No,
Is it the same, like?
it is right-wing media and think that last fall she decided society was too feminised, as if it didn't work too much. But I noticed she hasn't been posting to raise this guy just being fucking bitter. Like, you can't say anything about women's, you can't say anything about our gayness, otherwise you're a bitch.
Which actually goes to why you're spending off the one lost table she has. I said it's straight surveillance. People saying in the comments he's fucking mad because he's cancelled all like spend so much money on people who don't contribute anything at all. And yet on the other hand, you've got people who are trying their best to bring
I
the
think
bills.
it's almost like, and I'm not shitting on you, I think I found a quote on checks, right?
Oh, yeah.
Chicks, I've worked with lots of chicks before, and, you know, like I've said a few times, especially the HR ones, are fun. It's almost like things happen in the workplace, and they, like Alan Andrews said, they lead you to about how they feel about it.
Oh, yeah.
So they make determinations depending on how they feel, not what actually happens or how they're feeling.
Yes, it's more of a nurturing sort of side thing, which isn't bad. Being a woman and being a nurturer is good in the right circumstances.
One guy says Helen Andrews doesn't actually have any ideas. She just reads op-eds by leftists and switches out the bottom out, so it's a defense of the Confederacy.
6 weeks.
That's insane. She's defending freedom.
Oh, yeah.
Andrews' takes will remain one of my guilty internet pleasures because she is a dipshit in the way only quite smart people can truly be huge dipshits. To be able to misunderstand the whole world comprehensively, you have to not understand a lot of reading. Okay, fuckhead.
Why is that sentence constructed so shittily?
I know, because they're smooth guys. You know,
No, I remember it's not strong.
and intelligent.
Lost the American turned majority female in 2016. They've gotten a little bit more female every year since then. I think now it stands at 55 to 60%. New York Times became majority female in its workforce recently. Medical schools are now majority female. The white collar workforce overall, according to the United States College, is a majority female. And management positions. So the fact that all of these institutions moved over to majority female around the same time that wokeness emerged seemed to me that couldn't possibly be influenced.
Watchers,
Yeah, well, it paints a picture, doesn't it?
like the lesbian sea captain.
Yeah. But all these chicks started to take over, and then this became this huge thing. Companies started defending against the workers. You know, I think she makes a fucking good point.
I don't know why, maybe it is the misogyny in me.
The internalized misogyny.
Internalized misogyny. But whenever I'm on a plane and the captain makes the captain announcement, I want to hear a bloke.
Yeah, I'm like that too. I thought that was just me being a huge sex.
I feel uneasy if I hear a chick.
Yeah.
When it comes to group things, how does this organization function? How does an institution deal with conflict? When you're talking about those kinds of things, those tend to be more binary. Like either you solve your conflicts within an organization in a masculine way or in a feminine way. Either conflict is something that the
No, just
institution will
this is
tolerate
nice,
or it's not. So that's the kind of thing where once you get a critical mass, you really kind of have to pick which one you're going to do.
Yeah, and like I'm saying, it becomes an after the fact thing. How did we feel